Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of tax increases in Singapore. With both Chinese and US markets closed for holidays, the focus has turned elsewhere. Firstly, the ECB has frozen all payments by a Latvian bank following accusations by the Americans that ABLV laundered billions in illicit funds, including for companies connected with North Korea's banned ballistic missile program. As we reported yesterday, the ECB's Latvian member has been detained in a widening investigation. It's just the latest, though, in a growing list of ECB bosses accused of malfeasance. Also widening are the problems at the Mumbai branch of the state-owned Punjab National Bank, where a fraud of over $1.5 billion appears to have occurred. Two of India's wealthiest people, including a celebrity jeweller, are said to be behind the massive fraud. Both have left India and have disappeared. In Japan, they've started the year with a trade deficit with imports of crude oil overwhelmed the revenues of export shipments. This negative figure came after a long period of surpluses. But those oil imports overshadowed a very strong rise in exports, up 12% year on year, and indicating an expansion of their economic recovery. And Singapore has announced that it will raise its GST rate from 7% to 9%, but it put it off the change until after its next election. This tax increase comes despite strong national account surpluses and is being done to deal with an ageing population. They've also raised their stamp duty on million-dollar housing transfers. Australia, the United States, India and Japan have been discussing a joint regional infrastructure scheme designed to be a rival to China's multi-billion-dollar Belt and Road Initiative. It's an initiative that will likely put New Zealand in a delicate position with China and a delicate position with Australia and the US. And more specifically in Australia, major bank NAB is preparing to eliminate the first 1,000 jobs under a $1 billion cost-cutting drive announced last year. That's designed to make the bank simpler and faster as it prepares for tougher competition. Chief Exec Andrew Thorburn said in November that they would cut 6,000 existing jobs over the next 3 years out of its current 35,000 as part of a plan to slash people expenses while investing in new technology. In New York, the US Treasury market hasn't traded today and the 10-year yield remains at 2.87%. The gold price is lower by $1 this morning at $1,346 an ounce. And oil prices are noticeably firmer today, up more than $1, with the US benchmark now just under $62.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is at $65.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is little changed this morning at 73.7 US cents. On the cross rate, we're stable too at 93.2 Aussie cents and 59.4 Euro cents. That leaves the TWI marginally lower at 74.5. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.